Review time, and this time I've got a rear view mirror that actually has a dash cam in it. It's quite cool. So we got another dash cam for my wife's car, and I wanted one for my vehicle, more specifically for our trip to Japan, which we're in right now, and for our rental cars, etc. This is perfect because it just clips onto the mirror. It's quite out of the way. It is a rear view mirror that doubles as a dash cam, so it has this little camera here. So go over a couple of the features of it. I didn't bring all the attachments. It does come with a really long AC cord. This is about 12 feet long. It's really long, which is great for plugging it in. I mean, you always have options that way. It comes with a book. The instruction manual is quite good. It's in English and Japanese. The 2-guard CE35. It's in full 1080, which is the bottom end of HD. It also records in 720. Which saves space on your cards. So there's some installation guide stuff there. There's shows you how to install it. It does come with a reversing camera that you can plug in and put behind your license plate, so that when you put your car in reverse, that camera pops up on the mirror itself. So I'm looking forward to hooking that up when I get home. I didn't bring it with me here on holidays because I didn't want to be hooking it up on every rental car we have. Anyway, the operation manual is quite thorough. It goes through most everything. Shows you the modes, shows you everything you need to know, and then some specifics in the back with that. So touching briefly, that's about it for English, I think, there, when we switch to Japanese. So touching briefly on the product itself, when I first started using it, I was having issues with when I would adjust the mirror back and forth for me to be able to see in the rearview mirror, the camera itself would be pointed off to the wrong, off to the side of the road. Keep in mind, in Japan here we drive right-hand drive vehicles, so this is probably marketed for a left-hand drive car, being North America or Canada. So I thought, wouldn't it be nice if they could move the lens, and lo and behold, after I read the manual, the lens does swivel back and forth. So adjust your mirror, assemble it, get it on your mirror, and then once you've got it in position, then adjust the camera to get it to where you want it to be. Has a USB, this is where your power jack will come in. That was this guy here, that plugs into a cigarette lighter. There's an AV in, and that's for the reversing camera. That'll plug right into there. And then this is the spot for your SD card. I've got a 32 gig. It needs to be, come on camera, it needs to be class 10 or higher for the speed. So make sure you get a class 10. It supports up to 64 gigs, I believe. I've got a 32 and that's fine, because once it's finished recording, it'll just keep looping over and over and over, recording over itself. You can set the loop times, I think 2, 5, and 10-minute loop times, so it'll record 2-minute videos, 5-minute videos, 10-minute videos. I believe it comes straight out of the box, recording in 2-minute loops, and so that's pretty good. Other features is an on-off switch on the bottom. The top of the mirror is actually where the SD card is and stuff. It also comes with 3 of these rubber clips, and so that's how you install it on your mirror. You basically put it on your mirror of your car, your existing mirror, hook that into there, wrap it around the mirror, and hook it into there. And you'll do that on both sides. Now, that was one of my questions, was how long are these rubber, they're quite stretchy and quite pliable now, but after they sit in the sun in your car for a couple of years or however long, how pliable do they stay? So I'll update this review with that information if they indeed decide to get all worn out. I have another 5-volt source here. This thing runs off of 5 volts. I've just got another USB plug in here, so I'll plug it in so you can see it. Have a listen to the startup noise. It's quite loud. So that comes on every time you start this thing up. And there's your welcome screen. So this is what you'd see, and it is recording to start with. So if we go to the car DVR, you can see over here in this little red light here it's actually recording. So it starts up as soon as your car does and starts recording. So that's pretty cool. We can go back to the main menu. You can take a photograph with it. So it goes into photo mode, and you can take up to 12 megapixel photos with this, which is pretty cool. We did that a couple of times when we were driving around here, and lots of fun. Playback, you can of course look at all your videos, see what you've got in there. I have nothing on here right, oh, I have the one I just took, of course. So there it is, that's what we just took. So you can play your videos back live there, that's great. You can delete them. Go into settings quickly. In settings we have video settings. So you have, your resolution is either 720 or 1080. 1080 is, like I said, the bottom end of HD. You certainly don't need to record in that. 720 would be more than enough. That's, you know, YouTube quality would be fine there. Loop recording, and that's what I was talking about earlier. So turn it off so it doesn't loop, it just keeps recording. Or in 1, 2, 3, or 5 minute loops. So it comes 2 minute loops, and that's what I'm using it at. You can adjust the exposure up and down based on what you like. Motion detection. So when your car is off, and this thing is still does have a battery in it, if motion is detected by the light, it has accelerometers in there, I presume. If motion is detected, it'll come on and start recording automatically, which is a pretty cool thing. Second page of the menu, record audio. So I've got it on. It's pretty neat to be able to hear the audio from the car. Sometimes it's annoying, but sometimes it's pretty neat. So if you were in an accident or you saw something you wanted to record, you could just give a quick audio blurb of it and you'd have it recorded on here. Time and date, of course you got to set that up, and on means it's going to be on your video. It's an overlay for your video. G sensor, that's that sensor that I was talking, whoops. G sensor is the sensor I was talking about for the sensitivity. How sensitive is it to turn on when you're not in your vehicle. And park mode, same thing. So that's it for those menus. Let's go back to the main. Camera settings, resolution, the 12 megapixel photos right now, 4032 by 3024. That's quite a large photo actually. Pretty good quality. Quality I've got set to normal, that's the way it came. You can go to fine and that would give you even a better picture. I might even throw it there just to see how that looks. Sharpness is normal, soft or strong. Sharpness, white balance, of course I got it set to auto. The night performance of this is quite good. I did some driving through some tunnels here and it's pitch black in there, and this thing switches from bright daylight to tunnel, no problem. The ISO is set to auto. You can set 100 or 200. Obviously the lower the ISO the better to reduce the graininess of the photo. You can set the exposure up and down, and time and date. That's just displaying the time and date, or just the date on top of your video. So let's go back one more. Go into the settings, night mode. You have the option to turn this on and off on the main screen. I'll show you that in a minute. Auto power off. I don't have it set on because I want it to run continuously. Once I've started the vehicle, it'll keep going. So with this, you could leave it running for a minute or so after you turned off your video. Screensaver. So this is when you first fire up your car, the DVR comes on, starts recording. How long until this screen goes black and you just have your mirror. I've got it set to 3 minutes. That's the way it came. So for the first 3 minutes of driving, I see this screen, which is fine. You can actually see the overlay of your rearview mirror too if you're able to focus back and forth there. So screensaver, beep sound, I've got that set to on or off. That's just when you click this, it makes a beep. Language, comes in a few different languages. It looks like we have English, Chinese, French, Czech, Nihongo, Japanese, sorry, and maybe another Oriental language. So volume I've got set to high. I'm going to turn that to medium. I don't know if that's I think that might be the initial startup volume. I find that a little bit loud. Format means clear the whole SD card. Default settings, that's a restore thing, and there's your version there. So pretty cool. Here, back to your main screen for recording. Move that over there. You can see here battery is plugged in and charging. When you click on this, that's your night mode. I've got some water on my finger there. That's your night mode. So when the star is yellow, it's in night mode. You can turn that on and off quickly. Locks the orientation of it. Record. And you can turn off the audio as well. As we're going here, you can turn on and off your audio. And then back to the main menu. So there it is. I love this thing. It's a couple of the features, as I said in the notes up top there, are the fact that it's out of the way. A lot of these dash cams are kind of prevalent on the dash somewhere, and this is hidden. This is just your mirror, and literally the camera is at the back of your mirror. So there isn't another attachment on your screen to kind of take away your attention from driving, etc. And the quality of it is quite good. The video screen is excellent. We've watched a lot of our driving videos on here, and then the recording quality is excellent as well. So I'll put some of the recordings I have from this on. One thing of note is it records in AVI format, which is kind of an Apple format. It would be nice to see that in MOV as well as MP4, but for now it's AVI format, which is fine. It works. Windows Media Player doesn't like AVI, at least mine doesn't. So I'm forced to play my videos back on something else like VLC or something like that. But it works well. 2 thumbs up for me. Here's some footage from it, and enjoy.